Oi, oi, people. So, our third away scoring 5 goals. Not too bad, is it? I'll take that. We've thrashed the Bald Eagles. Absolutely give them an absolute pounding at Selhurst, didn't we? Uh, Jesus rises again around Christmas time with a brace. Rice comes off the bench with a goal and assist. When on the face of it, it's not really been a bad 4 days for Arsenal. Uh, but while this was a big win, I'm sorry, don't be fooled. Just make sure you are not fooled, people. Look, don't forget, give the video a like and sub. It's always massively, massively, massively appreciated it. Um, it helps people like me, content creators like me, Arsenal fans with my mindset. You know what I mean? It gives us a little bit of a voice to get our message out there. Because a lot of Arsenal top gooners, they need their heads sort of changed over. But yeah, look, let's sort of get into it. And I want to sort of talk about the positive first. It's a nice sort of way to start. It's Christmas. Let's talk some positivity. Jesus, I was talking to a few Arsenal fans, and I was on Jez's show as well on Wednesday night, and a question was sort of asked, and it was whether Gabriel Jesus or Havertz should start. Um, and and a couple of us, I think, there said sort of Gabriel Jesus purely because we just sort of want to see if he can back up what he done against Crystal Palace. And look, listen, I'm not going to be jumping on any sort of bandwagon because he's not good enough and he hasn't been good enough for such a long time. But it was interesting to see if he'd start again today and to see if he'd be able to back up, Wednesday night's hat trick with another goal. And to be fair to him, he's got himself two today. Not a bad performance from him. I'll get to sort of the negatives at sort of some stage, because it wasn't a great performance from him. Could have been wasteful, but look, he's gone away from home and scored himself 2 goals. So look, credit where credit's due. Martinelli, well, he actually looked a lot better on the right. Jesus Christ. Mikel Arteta, I was actually quite surprised he'd made that tactical change because, I mean, usually he just sticks him on the left and that's that. I think there's a couple of times now this season I've actually seen Gabriel Martinelli on that right-hand side and he has looked better, not significantly better, but he has actually looked better. And to be fair, that second half or just after Bukayo Saka's injury, really, you could sort of say he got moved over there. He got a goal and assist, in that second half. Yeah, fair enough. It's not too bad. Another good sort of thing about the day as well is Miles Lewis Skelly. Sort of every game, is starting to breed confidence. I know that he's probably only still playing because Calafiori was sort of injured. I know he's in the squad today and ultimately he got replaced for it. But yeah, he doesn't look out of place. And that's sort of what you want with players like that, He's come in completely. This is a breakthrough season, isn't it, Miles Lewis Skelly, to be fair to him. And he actually, his stature, he looks like a proper man, doesn't he? He doesn't look like a weedy sort of a weedy young lad. It looks like he looks like his shape and physique, which will only get sort of better by age. He's only a young lad. But yeah, he looks like he's physically ready to be able to sort of stand up to the rigors of the Premier League. And we've seen him sort of play in the Champions League as well. We haven't seen him, be absolutely phenomenal, but he hasn't had to be phenomenal. He's come in to do a job, and let's also get it right for Miles Lewis Skelly. He's actually a midfielder. So yeah, I think all well and sort of good to him. I'd sort of I heard a story about Miles Lewis Skelly actually yesterday, and that was that I think he got offered like a scholarship or something like that about 2 years earlier than you sort of need to be, and I think it was either his mum or one of his parents or something like that. It basically sort of said like, no, you're going to work for it like everyone else has. So they sort of rejected it and kept him sort of working hard for it. As well as that, I think again it was his mum who to everyone who's helped him out football wise or sort of anything wise, they made him write letters of gratitude to them. And do you know what? I actually really like that. Because all these young lads, we all know in the Premier League now, at 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, all of them sort of young ages, they're so well paid. And it could go to their head because they're still so bloody young, you know what I mean? They haven't had to really do a full-on day's graft in their lives. And to just try and keep him sort of grounded like that, I think it's only a good thing for Arsenal. He seems to have a good attitude. You never really, I know he's only just sort of broke through, but you never really hear anything outlandish sort of from him, I think he's going to have a good career with Arsenal. And if like the parents have seemed to have done a really good job and they've instilled a good nut in him, do you know what? The lad could the lad could sort of go places, and fair dues to him is what I'm sort of saying. I quite like Miles Lewis Skelly, and quite like his progression. It's obviously nice to see as well. A couple more young lads sort of come through. But obviously we've got Ethan Waneri coming through. He played it today. We didn't really stamp his authority into it, but he didn't really sort of have to. I think by the time he'd come on, the game was sort of done. Could he have, maybe he could have done a few bits, but you're not really expecting too much from him. He's a young lad, but fair dues to him. Let me just come and say hello to my man Aces in the chat. Adrian, brother. Yeah, the result doesn't matter. No trophies again this season. Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, I absolutely agree with you to a big extent today. And yeah, I'm sort of going to come to sort of the negatives. So let's start off, Asa, with what you said, yeah, man. Saliba was awful today, and I'll tell you what, you're not wrong, mate. He was not great at all, was he? Especially in that first 2 minutes, first 20 minutes. Sorry, let me get it right. He cost us one goal, and he could have cost us another one. And it's Gabriel Magalhaes even didn't really look that fucking sturdy in the first half either. And I was sort of sitting there and thinking, what is actually going on here? I mean, for that second goal, I don't know how Mateta missed it and didn't make it. What would have been? Would that have been 2-2? Would it? I ain't got a clue how he missed that. I mean, he has to be doing better with that Mateta, and he's really, really, really got away with one there, Bill Saliba. He hasn't had. I don't think he's had a bad season in general, Bill Saliba, but I don't think he's actually been as box office as we've sort of seen him, and it's almost sort of like the same for a lot of this Arsenal team. We've been carrying a lot of passengers, haven't we? Really, Bill Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes in general have been pretty good, haven't they? They're box office on their day, but you're starting to see these little mistakes creep in, and yeah, that first 20 minutes, mate, it was just absolutely shocking, really, from Bill Saliba. Thankfully, he got away with it. I mean, I'm really sort of grateful he got away with that, but there was a lot of poor performances in there today. That's sort of what I said at the opening of the show. Don't really be too fooled by that performance. Look, it's a great 5-1 win. I predicted a 1-1 draw before the game. So look, I'm buzzing with the 5-1, and I might not always seem it, but I'm happy with that performance to a lot of extents. But there's still a lot wrong with. There's still a lot wrong with that as well, and there's just way too many passengers. So let's say Bill Saliba, he's not a passenger, but he had a poor day today, and he's not been the best in the season. We've got the left back thing. All right, Miles Lewis Skelly, yeah, he's there at the minute, but that's what, left back number 8 or something like that this season. I mean, it's madness that we've spent so much money on that left-sided defence, and we still haven't really sort of solved it yet. Now, I know I just sung Miles Lewis Skelly praises, but is he going to be now the left back for the rest of the season? You'd probably assume not. Maybe he might be. I don't know, but the amount of players we've used in that position, and it's still not locked in. I mean, I will sort of never know. Jurrien Timber, I tell you what, he done some good things today, but he bloody annoyed me a little bit. And this throwing thing that Arsenal were doing, yeah, I thought it was just Ben White. I thought it was just Ben White that had this issue, holding the ball and not throwing it, for about 20 seconds. And he'd done that. I think it was about on the 30th minute there or thereabouts, give or take a few minutes. And he's got himself a yellow card. And to be fair, I'm quite glad he got the yellow card, because we need to get that out of our game. It's shit to watch for a start. It's frustrating. I'm thinking, why don't you just throw it, mate? What are you actually gaining? And that ref cannot wait to just go like that. But we do it anyway. And what does it do? It leaves us with a right back now having to be careful because he's on a yellow card for 60+ minutes of the game. It's so stupid. And like I said, it must be something like a tactical decision now that we're doing that, because I just thought it was Ben White doing that. But if everyone seems to be doing it, it's Timber doing it now. It's everyone there. And we've just got to stop running. Just throw the fucking ball in. Like, I know it ain't come something as simple as that. You can't just throw it. There's no space. But you also don't have to hold it and trying to gain these silly little meter advantage. You're just asking, aren't you? You're just asking for a yellow card. And I think it's just so stupid that early in the game. Like I said, now you've got play against wingers, pacey wingers, with bloody an hour of football left to do. And it's not as if you're 3-0 up and coasting. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit frustrating really, really frustrating that. But I hope it stops, because it's not great to watch. And especially, and by the next point, I'm going to say this in the first half, and this is particularly, we had plenty of ghosts and ghouls again playing there. Out of the 11 of them, look at our collection of Caspers, right? You've got Gabriel the Ghost Martinelli in that first half, really, until he got moved on the right. Just absolutely anonymous again, trying to bottle beating his man, absolute crap. You've got camouflage fucking Casper Kai Havertz, the fucking German poltergeist. What did he even do in that whole entire game? Can someone in the messages like write to me? What did he actually do? The German poltergeist is just fucking absolute blending into the background again. It's how many games of this just on and on and on that he's just completely and utterly anonymous. And why is he even playing in the midfield in the first place? Like, I thought Aston Villa last year would have been enough for him to stop all this bollocks. Like, but no, he doesn't. Again and again and again, Mikel Arteta just cannot help but play Kai Havertz in midfield. Like, it cost us the title last year in doing it, and he's done it in more than one game this season. I mean, this is the worrying thing about the manager. He just doesn't learn, does he? He doesn't learn his message, like, whatsoever. But not whatsoever. He could be here for another 20, another 10 years, and he'll still be playing Kai Havertz in the midfield. It's just baffling, and we all know he's probably here for the long haul. Because how are we going to get rid of him? No one's going to want to pay anywhere near the 65 million we paid for him, and who's going to pay 300k for the geezer? I mean, who is? I don't even think Saudi would think that as a great deal. It's absolute madness, isn't it? Oh, it's frustrating as anything, man. Canterbury, big up, fella. How are you doing, mate? Excellent result that tonight. Yeah, with your boys. Yeah, look, yeah, absolutely buzzing, mate, with the result. 100%. It's a good win. You know, Palace were in a good bit of form. I think I see on Sky that I think in the last sort of 6 games, was it, or something like that. I think they're either equal or more points than us. I think we'd amassed 13, and I think they might have done one more. Maybe it was the same there or thereabouts. But either way, they were on good form, you know, and in their backyard as well. I thought it was a pretty good sort of win. Do you know what I mean? To go there and win 5-1, and not only that, it's massively, massively, massively important for anyone who thinks that we're in a title race. I don't. I thought we was out of it, and the draw against Brighton. I've said it many, many, many a time. But for anyone who does sort of believe, I mean, it's not a bad sort of thing to do with Liverpool and Chelsea playing tomorrow to sort of win. We should have been doing this for the last 2 weeks against bloody Fulham and Everton. Everton drawing at home against maybe the worst Everton side that we've seen in the Premier League, and it was at home. I mean, come on, man. Like, but yeah, you know, if there is any pressure to be put on, this is what you need to do. You need to win, but I mean, it's a bit too much. Big up, Ant Man. How you doing, fella? Yeah, I will as well. Don't know if you got my message. I will be watching the boxing very, very soon. Once I've finished up here, I'm probably going to turn it onto the onto box office and have a little watch. Definitely a big night for Tyson Fury because let's face it, if he loses, finished. He's done if he loses. Absolutely, absolutely 100% done. Pardon me. Dad, how you doing, man? Big up. Just while you're here as well, I've got to say as well, our man Anthony, he suggested me while me and him were having a really good sort of long chat. I think it ended up nearly about 1 o'clock after Jez's show. We was having a 4-hour chinwag, and he gave me a great idea. It's his idea for me and the old man, aka Terence Knowles, to do a little show, and we are actually going to do one Monday. It's probably going to be 6 o'clock. We're just going to have a good little bit of light-hearted banter about Arsenal and West Ham. As you know, he's a West Ham fan. We're just going to have a little bit of banter, a little bit of Christmas fucking fun. Do you know what I mean? A little bit of light-hearted stuff to just take away from the misery of both of our clubs, because neither of them are actually doing great. Let's face it. But I'm really looking forward to it. And Anthony, it was an absolutely fantastic idea. So yeah, he'll be sat here with me. He won't be streaming from his. We'll be together having a pint, having a little bit of a laugh. We'll be talking about some Arsenal legends, talking about some West Ham legends, you know, some classic games, some showdowns, some games we've watched together. And yeah, sort of everything in between. So I'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, big up Ant and Dad, obviously, for being here. Hendo, how you doing, mate? A good win against a poor Palace, yes. Saliba plays as though hungover from the night before at an Xmas party. Yeah, man, 100%. He's probably had too many of these. Let's face it. Probably had too many Stellas, mate, because that weren't a great performance. Let's face it. Or Stella Saliba, mate, needs to lay off the old wife beaters. Pacers, yeah, absolutely nothing. Yeah, 100%, bruv. Can't agree what you're saying. The time wasting from throw-ins do really piss me off, especially in the first half. Absolutely need this out. Yeah, and that's sort of the point that I was saying, mate. You know what I mean? It was just so needless to sort of do. You know, if you're trying to sort of really run down a game and it's 2-1, you know, and it's a massive win if you do it, and it's 87th minute, you haven't already got a booking, obviously. You know, I can sort of understand maybe wasting a bit of time. You know, trying to get silly advantages, trying to destable a team's bit of momentum. Maybe they're coming into the game and you're just holding it. I can get that to good degrees. I can understand it, but not you know in the 30 odd minute, and you're getting a yellow card from it. You know you're going to get one. You know it's so pointless. It's very frustrating. I mean, it's not pleasing on the eye either, is it, mate? Uh, yeah, Dad, what you saying? You watch Arteta muck up a winning team and make stupid changes in Ipswich on Friday. Yeah, Signor Eyebrows, aka Bounce. Yeah, oh yeah, old plucked eyebrows, mate. Yeah, that'll be the that'll be the icing on the cake, mate. Yeah, the old perfect eyebrows will be in full force against Ipswich. We shouldn't mess that up, but I would have said that against Everton as well. Do you know what I mean? But we did. We absolutely balls the Everton game up. But listen, perfect eyebrows cannot be fucking up at home against Ipswich. I'm sorry. Didn't they get destroyed 4-0 away today? I think I see. Absolute madness, man. Aces, yeah, Frotetta, no management tactics. Do you know what, bruv? I'm surprised. I'm so surprised he actually put Gabriel Martinelli on the right, because whilst he weren't exactly pulling up trees, Gabriel Martinelli on the right, to be fair to the geezer, he actually was all right, mate. Do you know what I mean? On that right hand side, he was a little bit better when he moved over there. I think didn't he cross the ball in for the third maybe, and then he obviously got that little touch for himself, but little goal for himself. But let's face it, what actually was he doing, Gabriel Jesus, not putting that away? It's sort of mad, you know, because you get 2 goals, and I thought, fair dues, that's going to do a bit for his confidence. But wow, he missed some today. You know, the header weren't a bad little header. He hits the post. Thankfully, you know, Camouflage Kai, he puts it in, you know. But you know, that's what we're saying. Yeah, Usyk easy victory. Yep, I'm sort of thinking the same, mate. If I'm being honest, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking the same. Yeah, sorry, I'm late. Just going from getting Jesus on my top. Yeah. What on top of the on your new on your black one, is it? Yeah, no chance, man. Gabriel Jesus, absolute piss taker, he is, isn't he? He's done all right today, Daz. But like I was just saying, mate, he's missed 2 opportunities as well. You know that goal, like I said, that Martinelli sort of eventually put in. Man, he was like, there's literally not a geezer around him, not a geezer around him for 2-3 yards. You're thinking you could probably start doing kick ups here and back heel it in the net, and he fluffs it up, man. And that's the exact reason why. And listen, we know, yeah, that all the top gooners now are going to go now. Gabriel Jesus has got 5 goals in the last 2 games. We definitely don't need a striker now. We don't need a striker. That's it. We're sorted. He's back, we keep saying. I'm seeing big channels saying he's back, Gabriel Jesus. He's not fucking back. Them misses will never win us a title. I can promise you that. Misses like that, you've got to be putting them away. Unique, brother. How we doing, man? I haven't seen you in a little bit. How you doing, fella? Beautiful result, my guy. Yeah, man. It weren't bad, was it? Do you want the Carabao Cup? I certainly do. Unique, mate. Yeah, look, 100%. There's a reason why I pay a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? To go watch Arsenal. There's a reason why, more importantly, not just the money. You know what I mean? I spend a lot of time going to Arsenal, watching Arsenal, traveling to Arsenal, you know, and obviously now talking about it on air. So we do that so we can go to Wembley. Do you know what I mean? And do this. I've got a scarf up here from the 2017 FA Cup final against Chelsea, obviously, that we won. And there was on the seats. Dazza in the chat was right next to me, Dazza 87. And that's why we go. Do you know what I mean? For the Wembley days out. And I'm quite glad we got Newcastle, if I'm being honest with it. Like I was again having a little chat with some Arsenal fans, and a lot of them wanted Tottenham, some of them wanted Man United, who we all know now. Obviously, that can't because they got knocked out, and I think some wanted Liverpool, but I wanted more Newcastle. My reason around it, just to get to the final and then playing more of a long game, maybe won the fixtures in between it. Now I know, obviously, you know they're all difficult games, all for different reasons. You know, Tottenham will be coming at us, but they'll be open. But then we'll be playing them twice, I think, in a week. You know, then we've got Liverpool. If we'd have drew them, I don't think personally we'd beat them over 2 legs. I reckon they'd probably outscore us or beat us heavier at Anfield than we would at the Emirates. Whereas in a one-game setup, I actually think we could beat all three of them. It wouldn't bother me. I'd be looking forward to it, whoever we drew. But with the Newcastle game, I just thought in the first one being at the Emirates, at the Emirates, we've done quite well against them. We've scored 4 last season against them. Generally, sort of speaking, at home they don't have a really good sort of time when they come to sort of London when they're playing Arsenal. Whereas at St James's Park, yes, they are tough. Yes, it is a battle. But they're always quite closely contested games. That we've never really lose 3-0 or 2-0, and you just think, on their day, Liverpool could rip us to fucking shreds and we'd lose 3-0, 4-0, 5-1, or whatever. They've got that to do it against us. And I just don't think we'd rip them apart at home. We've beaten 3-1s and 3-2s, but this Liverpool team could hurt us. So I think in a one-game setup, I'm quite happy with that. What does everyone else sort of like think? Is everyone else quite happy that we got Newcastle? I just think over a 2-leg sort of system, yes, it will be quite hard, but I just think the Liverpool, yeah, it's not a bad draw, the Newcastle thing, and we'll probably get Liverpool in the final. And I'm not saying that I think that Arsenal will be favourites for it, because they're not. But yeah, I think in any match anything can sort of happen. Do you know what I mean? Dazza, hope you and the chat are enjoying the festive Saturday. Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. A little beers. I'll have a little drinky poo to that, Dazza. Aces, what you saying, brother? Barcelona v Atletico Madrid on ITV4 now. I might have a little switch over to that in a sec. Obviously, no remotes around me. Dazza, just quickly, bruv. What are you saying for the Ipswich game? Will you be coming? Let us know in the chat. I was going to message you a little bit earlier, but yeah, Damo and a few of the boys I think are definitely coming. So let us know, man. It'd be really good to see you on at the Emirates, bruv. Kenneth Braguna, I thought I'd say I made the subs at the right time today for a change. Yeah, do you know what? To be fair, he weren't so sort of bad. I'm really, really, really heavily critical usually of Mikel Arteta, but I've got to sort of give him some sort of credit when it is. I didn't think he'd actually have the bollocks to move Martinelli over to the right. I thought he'd have just done some weird mental changes, and it sort of worked. Hopefully, Bukayo Saka to take off at that point. Hopefully, he ain't out for too long. I think, what was it? I think Jamie Carragher. I think he said it could be a little hammy, wouldn't it? Like it sort of looked like, and hopefully, what's that? Usually a little 4 to 8 weeks in it. There's usually the little barrier for that. So hopefully it isn't, because he'll be missing some real sort of important fixtures, i.e. the 2 cups we actually have an opportunity to, to actually progress and win, because Premier League and Champions League, come on, let's not be heavily disabled in the head. We know we're not going to win them 2. Liverpool already have Carabao Cup retained. Yeah, mate. Yeah, look, I think you'd be really, really stupid to think that Arsenal are favourites for this now. But I would say, we're favourites to beat Newcastle and get into the final. And look, it's a day out at Wembley. That's what we all want. I know you're right. Yeah, I think we probably would lose if you told me to put my mortgage on one of the teams to win. I probably would say Liverpool. Unfortunately, at the start of the season, no. But we're not at the start of the season, and when you're sort of looking at how the teams are at the minute, yeah, I probably wouldn't. But, I also didn't think we'd be beating Chelsea. And in 2017, I think they actually won the league that year, didn't they? And I thought, oh, well, here we go. They're probably going to win this. And we turned up. We turned up in 2020 as well, So, yeah, in them one-off games, I think we could. It's like anything, Tottenham could turn up on that one day, but they probably won't. History says they won't. But you never know, apart from Spurs. I mean, we actually do know, yeah, with Spurs. I mean, what's theirs? I think that's their last trophy in it, Spurs. Was it 2008, was it? Woodgate winner v Chelsea? I'm fairly sure that's right. And then obviously before that, it took an Arsenal manager, George Graham, to win it. What was that, 1999, I think? George Graham won the, what probably would have been the Worthington Cup then, wouldn't it? And then the Carling Cup when they won it in 08 with Juande Ramos. That's what it is, 100%. Unique, bruv. Yeah, we are him at first hour. And yeah, I knew that. Maybe I said it sort of ran the wrong way, mate. We need to smash Newcastle before going to St James's Park. Yeah, mate. Listen, Unique, bruv. I'm 100% agreeing with you. That's sort of my thinking of before the draw was made, why I wanted Newcastle. Like I said, I think over two legs, Liverpool. I think we'd get found out. And the Spurs games, I love the North London derbies, I really do. But two enough in the season's sort of enough for me. They're they're horrible games. I love watching them, and we usually come out on top a lot of them. But I never really enjoy them in game. I'm always so nervous. The only game that does it to me. Um, they're horrible watch sometimes. Obviously, unless we're absolutely smashing it and coasting it, they're just an. I don't know. I don't always enjoy them, but I love them, enjoy them. It's hard to describe. But yeah, I think the Newcastle, having that first game at home and being able to, if we can get, say, a two or a three goal lead, ideally, obviously a three. I just sort of think, if we can get a nice little comfortable lead, like you're saying, bruv, going in there, have a little dick 'em around, 3-0, 4-0, then you can not play the kids, but do you know what I mean? Start playing some fringe players, but not Kivior, because then, you know what I mean? That's that. That'd be 4-4, you know what I mean? All over it. 100%. Just keep that Kivior out. He is not Arsenal quality, is he? But big up, Unique Man. It's good to see you in the chat. And likewise as well, you Hendo and everyone else, of course. Season's greetings and Merry Christmas to you, Aaron. Thank you very much, and your family and all in the chat watching. Yeah, that's a great sort of point as well. Do you know what I mean? I was going to sign off with it, but why not sort of while we're saying it? I bloody hope everyone here that's watching is it in the chat. People that are coming have left. People that watch it on catch up. Hope you all have a bloody good Christmas, man. That's what it's all about, isn't it? And again, don't forget to tune in on Monday, 6 p.m. Me and Dad, we're going to have a little Christmas special. Me and Terence Knowles are going to have a little bit of a laugh, so make sure you don't forget that. And drop a little like and subscribe as well if you haven't done already, people. Yeah, Dad, why Arsenal fans mentioning the Carabao Cup? Are your expectations that low now? Mate, I was watching... Dad, we'll get into this on Monday, yeah? Mate, you were fucking gassed as anything. Well, you won the fucking European equivalent of the fucking Johnson's Paint Trophy. What are you talking about? Come on, Dad, man. We'll dissect that a little bit, man. Come on, Dad. Yeah, I think he's trying to wind me up, and I think I've half bit there, you fucker. Dazza, I was coming here with one, but I think I'll drive. I'll let you know. Travel Xmas Boxing Day. Yeah. Let us know. But if you're not driving, have a couple of bevies. You know what I mean? Have a couple of beers. Let me know. I want to see pissed up Darren, not fucking stoned out his box, Darren. Gets me fucking stoned out my box on the way there. Just fucking I have to walk away from him. Fuck's sake. I have to leave a big old distance because I end up thinking, Jesus Christ, am I fucking out my box and all now? Cheers, Dazza. Aces, yeah. Brighton, Newcastle, Man United, Tottenham, January fixtures. What's that? What's that? Obviously, just at the start of it, because I think we've got quite a few, haven't we? Is that the first sort of few four fixtures? I'm assuming because I think we've got quite a big, mate, quite a big sort of one. Unique. I'm off out. Aaron, Merry Christmas, my guy. Merry Christmas to the chat. Stay safe, everyone, and God bless you and your families. Yeah, big up to you, brother, man. 100%. As a Liverpool FC fan, big up, brother. How you doing, mate? I think the first time I've seen you in this chat. I'll give you credit for your win today, but also I was expecting a win with a team so low in the table. The real test will come in the new year for you guys. Yeah. Listen, man, absolutely. Just as obviously a Liverpool FC fan, what's your reckoning on tomorrow? Do you reckon you're gonna get yourself back to sort of winning ways? I reckon you'll beat Tottenham. I mean, it's going to be quite an open sort of game. They'll be open, and the way you've sort of been playing, it's not like your rock and roll football of past, but it's still there, ain't it, for you guys? And by that, I mean you can be a bit more conserved. Let that Tottenham side come up against you, and you've got that quality now. You've got Diaz playing a little bit better. You've got Salah, who's just, I mean, he's just a match winner, isn't he? A match winner after match winner after match winner. You've got players that can really, really hurt them. I reckon you can just sit in, soak in whatever they've got, bang on the counter, and I reckon you could have a little bit of fun there. It just sort of depends, if you can sort of turn up. But yeah, I reckon you'll definitely have a win there, mate, tomorrow. And obviously the Carabao Cup draw for you as well. You've got Spurs twice as well. I don't know about you, bud, but I can only see a Liverpool and Arsenal final. It'd be a great final, a really, really sort of good final. Two big teams. But I would slightly make Liverpool favourites. Maybe not, maybe even a little bit more than slightly. Maybe there's a little bit of bias coming out of me there, but I reckon you'll be all right. Probably your cup, like Ace said a minute ago, probably going to be your cup. Yeah, Darren, you're laughing. Yeah, so he walks past me. I'm sure he does it purposely. Yeah, he'll wait for he'll wait to see where the wind's fucking blowing, and then he'll start walking down the other side to me, and he'll smoking it, and he'll just wait for it to fly in my face. Fucking, I'm nearly on the floor. I have to walk about 100 yards away from the fucker. Too much, man. I can't handle that for love nor money, mate. I never have. I've tried it 3 times and I fucking sick twice. And I got put on my ass. Do you know what? Funny little story, yeah. I've been with Mrs. 11 years, yeah. And our first holiday, I think it was 2014. We'd gone away, and bearing in mind, like I said, I don't smoke at all, yeah. I don't know what come over me. Well, I do. I absolutely know what come over me. Too much of that. I was giving it to Barry in front of the new missus, obviously, like that. I was like, oh, you get the old geezers come over and going, oh, do you want this? Do you want that? I was like, yeah, all right, I'll have a I'll have a little go. What you get is 20 quid's worth or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, I don't even have a lighter, so I had to buy all the fucking stuff. Anyways, right. So I've gone back. I know how to roll, so I used to smoke. I used to smoke roll ups, so I knew how to roll anyway. I've put way too much in it. I'm sat on the balcony. She's like, yeah, we'll have a smoke. Yeah, anyways, I'm sat there chilling out there. I've had a couple of pulls. Mate, after about 4 or 5 pulls, I sat there thinking, fuck me, this world is spinning. It's absolutely spinning. I looked around at babe. I was like, I think I've got to go lay down, babe. I was like walking all like that, walking all the way to the bed, mate. Oh, fucking lay down on that bastard bed. I'm telling you, mate, I was going like that, fucking 365 miles an hour, mate, just wobbling around like that, fucking for about 2 hours. Absolutely horrendous, mate. Absolutely horrendous. And I haven't touched it since then, man. So don't do drugs, people, man, especially if you can't handle them. Hendo, at Terence, yeah, after all, yeah, I'll take a Council Community Shield as a trophy. Oh. Hendo, boys, chat, Dad, Dazza, what is that all about? I mean, come on, what is that all about? It's pathetic, isn't it? It's absolutely pathetic that he's made that comment. He's won 3 trophies. I was praying when I rewatched it. I was thinking, is this a bit of tongue-in-cheek banter? Nah. He's like, what are you talking about? I've won 3 trophies. You bloody haven't. You've won 2 friendlies with a fucking shield. Do you know what I mean? You've won the FA Cup after 3 months, and you've done absolutely nothing that remotely came close to it since 4.5 years later. Oh yeah, but we finished twice behind Manchester City. Oh, with 2 points. So what? Who cares? In 1999, we finished a couple of points behind Manchester United. Who gives a fuck about 1999? Well, Man United fans certainly give a fuck about Man United, but no Arsenal fans do. Who cares? No one remembers it, even remotely fondly. I remember it very painfully. Jimmy Floyd dagger at Ellen Road. It weren't funny, man. But yeah, Hendo, mate. It's embarrassing, isn't it, fella? Absolutely embarrassing. But also, when I put Atletico Madrid, yeah, I'm probably not going to stay on for loads sort of longer, but I definitely ain't got any remotes for me. I'll have to have a little look. Pedri, was it? What we got saying? Salah going to have a field day against Tottenham's goalkeeper. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, he had an absolute stinker, didn't he? Absolute stinker against Manchester United. I mean, an absolute shocker. Liverpool will easily beat Spurs. Yeah, Hendo, man, I'm sort of in total agreement with you. Not only just tomorrow, but I reckon over 2 legs. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg is over for Tottenham. Sorry, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Liverpool gave them a real hiding in that in the first leg, and I think it's at the Tottenham Stadium as well, isn't it? The first leg. Yeah, that's going to be over in 1 leg, I think, and it just gives Liverpool another great opportunity. Not to sort of rest, well, yeah, to rest players, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? Because I actually think they'll beat them that heavily. Yeah, Buddha, how you doing, bruv? Yeah, mate, I think we will win, yeah, especially with Slot now. The way he reads the game accordingly and makes great changes. The main thing is our main guy's fit, to be honest. Yeah, will be a good game, I hope. Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, you're talking facts, man. Yeah, when you've got someone like Mohamed Salah, not only fit and on form, he's a match winner even when he's not on form, and he's a real game changer for you. And fair dues. I think 1, you'll win easily tomorrow, and 2, I think you'll win the Carabao Cup semi-final quite easily. I just hope if we get there, you don't take the piss out of us in the final, because Liverpool have always just been that team over the years. We've had some hidings by Man City. Like, don't get me wrong, we have, and I know it's not the same real sort of squad now, whatever. But man, I dread going to Anfield, even still, sort of now. We've had a couple of half decent results against you, a couple of draws in the last few years, but man, I've still got scars of Anfield, mate. I've still got a lot of scars. Yeah, goes to show how desperate he is. Listen, man, yeah, it's desperation 101, and it's cringe when he said that. You just think there's no Arsenal fans here, is there, that are actually going, yeah, that's my manager, man. That's my manager. Buzzing. You're just all thinking, Jesus, just shut your mouth, Mikel. Like, please just stop talking. Like, I think it sort of rattled him a little bit, but I don't know, man. It's just double cringe, isn't it? I don't know. I think I've missed your message there. Yeah, he claimed it twice. Yeah, one for each eyebrow. Yeah, perfectly plucked eyebrow. Oh yeah, and a trophy of the last manager's team. Yeah, boy. Yeah, listen, that's all fucking facts, mate. Yeah, absolute 100% facts. Right, I'm gonna wrap it up there because I want to maybe watch a little bit of the Barcelona game, and then I'm gonna go and get it over to boxing. And just before I shoot, anyone in the comments who's winning? I think Usyk. Man. But yeah, look, thank you very much for coming over. Do you know what I mean? It's always going to be a little bit of a short one today, so I've got a few bits that I want to do. Thank you very much for watching. If you could give us a like and sub, man, it's always greatly appreciated. Yeah, Dazza, yeah, you're saying Usyk, bruv. Yeah, I'm the same. And do you know what? On Usyk, that's that. He's finished, isn't he? Tyson is absolute finished. Fury in 6, man. Yeah. I don't know, Dad. Like, I'd prefer him. He's an English fighter. Of course, I'd rather them sort of belts come back home. But yeah, man, Dad's the sound. Enjoy your night, people. Yeah, people, enjoy your night, man. And I will see you on Monday. Tune in 6 o'clock. Me and Dad are going to be having a little bit of a laugh. But other than that, have a wicked Saturday. And if you don't see me, enjoy your Christmas. Big up, man. Always appreciate it.